It's February and this is the Library Roadshow. On the show today, new tools to assist with diversity research, genealogy, and literacy. Welcome to the February edition of the Library Roadshow. I'm Mary Stein, and this is a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. February means Black History Month, and that means the return of the African American Read-In series. We're also focusing on oral history with a workshop to complement the fabulous photographic display at the main library. Titled Towards a Larger Freedom, 10 Years of Citizen Power Organizing with Together Baton Rouge, this powerful exhibit links to oral histories by each of the subjects. And continuing with an oral history theme, Metromorphosis has announced the Black Futures Quilt Project. As part of their 10-year anniversary, they're starting to collect oral histories and quilt squares to help shape a community quilt. You can get started when you bring your 4x4-inch fabric squares to the main library on February 26th. We'll learn about the traditions of Mardi Gras with Masquerade, and we're heading to the Botanic Garden with Sustainable Designs when Garden Discoveries takes place in February. This month's schedule also features several offerings from the Master Gardeners: roses and super plants, gardening for beginners from planting to harvesting and pruning, raised bed gardening, and native flowering shrubs. In the shortest movie in the world, Saturday Science explores how scientists capture images like hummingbird wings flapping so quickly and even electrons moving around inside a molecule. The vinyl underground comes up to the surface. Business guru Jack Daly helps us sell our way to success, and wonderful volunteers are beginning to provide tax help. You'll find these and many more programs listed in this month's issue of The Source, in print and online at ebrpl.com. Check it out. And finally, numbers are up. As we start adding up all our bits and pieces that comprise how the library functioned during calendar year 2021, I can tell you that business was good. More than 323,000 patrons made over 1.2 million visits to our 14 convenient locations, and they checked out twice as many books. Bookmobiles made over 17,000 stops around the community, and staff answered almost 900,000 reference questions. Almost 400,000 patrons attended more than 9,000 library programs. You made use of meeting rooms and accessed ebooks, databases, and online learning in a big way. Let's keep that trend going in 2022.
Free access to books, audio, and library resources are just a few of the benefits available to you when you get a library card. Need free access to a computer? You get that. Want free access to premium digital resources like Mango Languages and lynda.com? You get that. Need to book a meeting space? You get that. Heck, you can even check out a telescope or use a digital printer with your library card. If you live in East Baton Rouge Parish, pick up your free library card from your local branch library today. Premium access to everything the library system has to offer is waiting for you.
During Black History Month, local students traditionally turn their attention to research on African Americans. The library's found a new tool to assist students with their assignments that is rich in primary source materials related to people of many different ethnic traditions. It's time to find out more in the digital download.
Ethnic Diversity Source is a dedicated resource covering the culture, traditions, social treatment, and lived experiences of different ethnic groups in America. In it you'll find thousands of journals, magazines, ebooks, biographies, and primary source documents covering the topic. Groups covered include African Americans, Arab Americans, Asian Americans, European Americans, Jewish Americans, Latinx Americans, Native Americans, and multiracial Americans. Some of the primary sources include letters, speeches, and historical documents. There is also a large selection of curated videos from the Associated Press. It's a great resource for homework assignments, as well as for fostering cultural understanding. Similar diversity and inclusion resources in the digital library include Black Life in America and the Archives of Sexuality and Gender. To find these and more, head over to the digital library page at ebrpl.com.
Thanks, Andrew. And if you want to switch focus away from research and lifelong learning and instead think about continuing education in your own workplace related to diversity, the digital library's got that too. In fact, Andrew's reference department can develop a customized DEI training syllabus tailored just for your needs. Contact Library Information Service to find out more. Let's shift gears and check in with Jessica McDaniel reporting in from Beyond the Stacks.
The spaces we occupy can affect our moods by lifting our spirits, and our productivity by providing comfort, efficiency, and even a place to plug in. We're here at the Jones Creek Regional Branch Library to explore their recent upgrades to their newest renovations. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is Ginger Lemons. I am the children's librarian here at the Jones Creek Regional Branch Library. We just finished renovations. The construction was finished around Christmas of 2020, but then they still were adding furniture and some shelving and things like that through the middle of 2021.
What are some new features that people might not have noticed yet?
So in the children's area, we have some really cool new things. We have some really cool little nooks in the back of the room where children can kind of crawl in and curl up with a book. We also have a game table that's kind of like a giant tablet that they can play on. We have some in-house games that they can check out while they're in the library. And we have a really cool light wall that they can spin the knobs on and it changes the colors of everything. In the rest of the library, we have some really cool new furniture. We also have, it's not open yet, but it hopefully will be later this year, we have a new makerspace that has some really cool technology in it.
What about meeting rooms and study rooms?
Okay, so they have added study rooms in every section of the library. So the children's room has several study rooms now, the teen room has study rooms, and the adult section has study rooms. And the teen area also has a programming room as well. We have a really cool letter wall against the back of the children's room that's really neat with a bunch of different bright colors and letters. It seems like it's a little bit more inviting in here. The furniture is a lot more comfortable looking, and it also we have, the shelves are white and they're lower in children's, and in some of the other areas it just looks a little bit more organized. Most of the patrons that come in think it's very nice in here. They all say, wow, this is really pretty, or this doesn't look anything like it used to when I came as a child, and things like that. But most people who have seen it really have enjoyed looking at all the different things to look at, and we've gotten a lot of positive feedback.
Find more information about your library's recent and future capital improvements at ebrpl.com.
Thanks. What a transformation. Local residents have really responded positively to the renovation and expansion. We'll be publishing a Google 360 tour of the Jones Creek Regional Branch Library soon, so you can view the branch at your own pace. Look for it on the library's website under the Locations tab. Stay right there. After the break, Tara Deering joins me for a chat right here on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that free entertainment is good for us all. That's why we make ebooks and audiobooks available for free through the Libby app. Grant free access to unlimited streaming music and video through Freegal, Canopy, and IndieFlix. Get a library card. Get free entertainment at ebrpl.com/digital library.
You're watching the February edition of the Library Roadshow. Everything you need to know about your local library system. Tara Deering was our special guest last month to share the new Press Start, Ready, Set, Read program with the community. That program is geared to preschoolers, but we never forget the older kids. Today, Tara joins me to announce the library's new Home Library Pilot Project. Okay, Tara, what is the Home Library Pilot Project?
Well, this pilot project is, we're going to try to get books into the hands of third graders at some of our schools that need a little bit more help, to try to just help them to increase their scores and, get some books in the home.
Well, yes,
So-
because research shows that one of the major predictors of reading success and attainment
Yes.
is the presence of books in the home, appropriate books in the home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the books that are engaging that children might actually pick up. So whether it's the pigeon crossing the street or driving a bus or Dogman or all those wonderful, attractive books.
Right.
Books. My personal fate is Pete the Cat. But as we get into third grade, that's
Yeah.
where we start to lose the excitement and the
Yes.
reading in the schools. So we
Yes.
have identified some schools that have children who are at risk.
Yes.
There's about 400 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And every month they're going to receive a book, and not
Yes.
just a book to read and return.
That's right. It
It's
is a book for them to keep forever.
Yes, one of the children said, "You mean for my very own
Yes.
to take home?" Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
And the kids are very excited about
That's
it.
right. So we've rolled this out for the January, mid-January visits to the 5 schools that were
Right.
selected. And the response from the principals, the assistant principals, the school librarians and the teachers, the classroom teachers, and the helpers was fantastic. But
Yes.
most importantly,
Was the kids.
Was the kids.
That's
right.
right.
So our master storyteller, Pappy Arnold, who is
Yes.
the coordinator for special literacy projects, told the stories.
She did a fabulous job. The kids had a great time.
And then we invited them to come meet you in the back of the
Yes.
room.
And then they got to choose their own book from the selection of books that we brought for them. So we had a little bit of a variety. We had some multicultural topics, and we had some fun topics, and we just had some great books for them to choose from, and they could flip through them and look through it and see if that book really appealed to them before they
Right.
chose it, which
And
is great.
some of the books were more demanding chapter books, and some of the
Yes.
books were more accessible, more towards a picture book, a graphic book.
Or a hybrid.
Hybrid. And because the important thing is to reach them where they are.
That's right.
Because already there's been probably
Yeah.
a lack of reading material
Yes.
in their lives because they're only at school so many hours a day.
Yes, and if they start where they're confident, then they can build from there.
That's right.
So they've got to start where they're confident.
So we didn't do this alone, though.
That's right.
The brains of it came from our staff, you and Pappy and other wonderful staff members here in the library. And we looked at a lot of research, and we did our reading, we did our literature
We did our own
search.
reading, yes.
Because we are librarians, come on. But then we had some wonderful partners approach
Yes,
us. And some of
we
these
did.
partners we've worked with before.
Yes, on other ventures.
That's right.
Yes.
So
and they're
Baton Rouge Parents Magazine.
Baton Rouge Parents Magazine, Kids Scoop News, Trilogy, Baton Rouge Alliance for Students, and of course we can't forget our own patrons of the public
That's
library.
right, the Popple people. So they all work together to help us kind of craft the pilot.
Yes.
And we can't forget that books cost money.
That's
Even
right.
though the library is able to procure them at a really good discount,
Yes, we do.
about 400 books per month for the school year starts to add up.
It does.
So that's where these partners have come into play, and they're helping to fund this pilot project. What are the ultimate goals of the project?
Well, we hope to, by getting these books into the hands of the kids, we hope to, of course, as far as school is concerned, see that increase in literacy and better test scores, more classroom participation.
Right,
But of-
engagement.
engagement, yes. But of course, we also want to have that, just fostering that love of reading and get those books in the home and have them encouraged to read on their own and not just for school, to have that pleasure reading and to read with their families.
Right, because especially if they're coming from a family that doesn't have a habit or a history of having books in the home,
That's correct.
then you're starting from nothing. So as the books start to come in the home and one child reads, there's probably a little brother or little sister or a cousin or a friend that also could benefit.
Yes.
And you want to sparkle and build that momentum going
Yes,
up.
that's correct.
And ultimately, why is this so important, Tara?
Well, we've found, and it's in this, the research shows that if you don't get to that on-level reading by third grade, or by fourth grade, I'm sorry, if you don't get to it by fourth grade, then there are issues for the future in their education. So
That's
it's
right.
really important for them to get on level as fast as possible before fourth grade.
And Louisiana is not known for its high literacy rate. In
No.
fact, we're known for a very high level of illiteracy and generational illiteracy. So
Right.
this is a stab at breaking that cycle of intergenerational illiteracy, build a culture of reading in the home, have the children more in tune with the idea that I can read, I can
That's
have
right.
books, I can be just like those other kids, and then ultimately raise those scores, build that reading attainment, because sadly, the statistics since the 1980s has been that if children are not reading on level by the fourth grade, you look at the number of children who are not on level and you plan for prison beds 20 years down the road. And that's a terrible thing.
Yes, we want to stop that.
We want to stop that. What's planned for the future?
Well, obviously we have to get our data from this pilot, so we'll be running the pilot through May, and hopefully we'll have enough information and enough support built up by then that we can go ahead in future years, starting next year, maybe build out to some more schools, more students,
Add more third graders
add more
to the
third
mix.
graders,
And then
just
ultimately,
we'd love to
add
go
another grade.
Yes, we'd love to add another grade. So, obviously we have to wait and see where things go, but it would be lovely to be able to build it out and just keep spreading the love and getting those books in the home.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tara. A lot of research, thought, and careful consideration went into planning this project, and we're so proud to get it off the ground. We'll be monitoring progress through the school year and working with our teachers and school librarians to measure impact and outcomes. After the break, Kaplan native Barry Toops, plus book reviews from one of our younger library patrons. All that and more coming up next on the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library believes that staying informed is good for us all. That's why we provide free access to the New York Times and other national newspapers online. Permit free access to niche magazines and articles through PressReader. Get a library card. Get informed at ebrpl.com/newspapers.
Welcome back to the February edition of the Library Roadshow. It's no secret that people in Baton Rouge love food. We love to think about it, smell it, eat it, and we also love to drool over the recipes found in cookbooks. Whether they're in family cookbooks, lovingly passed down through the generations, or available in fresh cookbooks and food magazines found right here at the library, online, and at wonderful attractions such as Crawfish Haven, also known as Mrs. Rose's Bed and Breakfast. Barry Toops joins us now to share how he turned his own family recipes and traditions into a great cookbook for all to enjoy. Barry, introduce yourself. Who are you and what are you best known for in your part of the world?
My name is Barry Toops, owner of Crawfish Haven, Mrs. Rose's Bed and Breakfast. And I am best known in this area for owning the first Crawfish Excursions Bed and Breakfast in this area, South Louisiana, and also my cooking skills.
When did you publish Crawfish Haven, Mrs. Rose's Bed and Breakfast cookbook, and what really inspired it?
Well, I published the cookbook in 2020, and the reason I published it, well, it was during COVID, and we were shut down for 6 months, and I had the time to do it, and my guests kept asking for some of my recipes, and I figured this is my best way of doing it.
And of course, Barry, we need to know, who is Mrs. Rose?
Miss Rose was born in this house, and she lived to be 92 years old. She was born in 1921. The house was always in her family. I bought it from her son, and I felt that was the best way for me to honor her was by naming the house after Miss Rose. The house was built in 1903.
Barry, what are some of your favorite recipes from the book?
Pretty much all the Cajun recipes, the gumbos, the etouffees, and the jambalaya. They're all recipes that I've started from scratch from years ago, and they pretty much all my favorite recipes.
How can our viewers find out more about the cookbook and the bed and breakfast?
Well, my website is Crawfish Haven, Mrs. Rose's Bed and Breakfast. You go on that website, you can see all about the bed and breakfast, and you can see all about, you can order the cookbook by getting in touch with me through Crawfish Haven, Mrs. Rose's Bed and Breakfast. Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much, Barry. It's gumbo weather for sure, so maybe that's the first recipe we should try. It's now time to check in with one of our younger library patrons to find out what they've been reading from the library.
Hello, I'm Taha, and I'm 10, and this is my favorite book. The title of the book is Star Wars Jedi Academy, The Phantom Bully. It's about the bullies when this girl went to the dark side and went there, and she said that she wanted to learn there, but when she went to learn there, she got bullied by people. Hey Ryan, we heard you have a girlfriend at Jedi Academy. I don't know if she's my girlfriend exactly, but at least you finally got to fly in a real starfighter. Well, a real star pilot similar to my mom brought me to the library, and I like to read in the library.
Stay right there. You're watching the February edition of the Library Roadshow.
The East Baton Rouge Parish Library System believes that knowing where you come from is good for us all. That's why we grant free access to genealogy resources available through Ancestry.com, make the vast historic resources of Heritage Quest available to you online. Get a library card. Get your family tree at ebrpl.com/genealogy.
Hello, my name is David Lotch, and I'm the genealogy librarian at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. The genealogy department is located on the second floor of the main library in the Special Collections Room, where history comes alive. Today, I would like to introduce you to the most valuable genealogy resource our library has to offer, the genealogy staff. We are available to answer your questions anytime the library is open. We will also sit down with you for an hour to help you with those more difficult problems. No appointment necessary. Each of us has been doing genealogy for years, so we know what kind of resources are available, where to find them, and how to interpret them to get the most out of your search. Because of our experience and because of our varied backgrounds, we have developed experience with many kinds of records from many places. Our main focus, of course, is the Baton Rouge area in South Louisiana, but we also branched into African American records, Italian and Sicilian genealogy, German and Dutch records, colonial New England, Acadian history, Western migration, colonial New England, and women's genealogy. If you have a question about any of these topics, or any other, please email us at genealogy@ebrpl.com or call us at 225-231-3751 or just drop by and see us. Once again, we are located on the second floor of the main library on Goodwood in the Special Collections Room, where history comes alive.
You're watching the February edition of the Library Roadshow, a production of your East Baton Rouge Parish Library System. I can't stress enough that even if you're not from Baton Rouge, if you're interested in adding leaves to that family tree, you really should make a visit to the main library at Goodwood and consult with our genealogists on staff. We're always on the lookout for new resources to add to the genealogy toolkit, especially as new research material becomes digitized. It's all available at the main library at Goodwood, and it's free with your East Baton Rouge Parish Library card.
Whether you're looking to spruce up your resume or have questions about a job search, the library is the place to be. We're here at the main library's Career Center to hear about more opportunities for this new year.
I'm Ann Novak. I run the Career Center at the East Baton Rouge Parish Library.
So how long has the Career Center been open?
Oh, the Career Center has been open since 2004, and we've been at this location ever since it opened.
What are some of the resources you offer in general?
So we help patrons with any and all kinds of questions when they're job searching or when they have career transitions. So it can be as little as helping them fill out an online application at the computers we have available, or it can go into as much depth as doing extended interview coaching or career decision coaching, and really anything in between.
So now what can patrons expect this year in 2022?
So we always have a number of seminars coming up, and our next ones will be February 5th. We will have a seminar on job search letters, and that covers cover letters and pain letters. If you don't know what that is, come and attend the seminar. And later that month, I think it's February 22nd, we have a seminar on salary negotiation, very important topic. And then looking into March, we have seminars on how to master the job interview. And we are partnering with the Louisiana Workforce Commission in a seminar, and we're introducing some of their initiatives. So the team of the Career Center is here to serve any job seeker in this parish of East Baton Rouge. If you need a resume, if you need interview advice, if you need to just talk it through with somebody, if it is the right place and time in your career to change careers, to leave your job, that's what you can come here for, and we will work with you.
Okay, where can we find more information about the Career Center?
Yeah, so go to our website at www.careercenterbr.com, or our YouTube channel, which is EBRPL Career Center on YouTube, and our social media. You can find us on Twitter and on Facebook.
Find more Career Center programs in the Source newsletter every month, or visit careercenterbr.com.
And now for today's contest. Visit the library's Facebook page at facebook.com/EBRPL. Thinking back to our new Press Start Ready Set Read initiative, I'd really love to see some photos showing how your family has incorporated any of the fun and easy ideas highlighted in either the January Press Start issue or the new February booklet into the activities at home with your preschoolers. Perhaps you played with your food and made letters with your noodles. Maybe you played I Spy or did a shape hunt to find a circle shape. Maybe you counted toys as you put them back into the toy box. Whatever it is, we'd love to see it. That's facebook.com/EBRPL, and while you're there, enjoy. We're not your grandfather's library anymore. What's coming up on the Library Roadshow in March? We'll launch the Spring 2022 One Book, One Community series featuring A Chafalaya Houseboat by Gwen Rowland.
Tune in next month and we'll share another free resource available in the digital library.
Next month, you'll learn about another service offered at your local branch library.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Library Roadshow, and remember, your East Baton Rouge Parish Library is open 7 days a week at each and every one of 14 branches, plus 24/7 on the web. Check us out at ebrpl.com.